Welcome to Legend Story Vault, where the legends speak, the truth is revealed, and the stories Hollywood tried to hide finally come to light. From untold beginnings to shocking revelations, we take you behind the curtain of fame. If it happened in the shadows, we're bringing it into the spotlight. Hollywood has no shortage of legends, but few loom as large as Clint Eastwood. The son of Depression-era parents, Eastwood rose from Western TV actor to become one of the most iconic figures in film history. By the mid-1960s, he had become the laconic man with no name in Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns and a no-nonsense cop named Harry Callahan in the 1970s Dirty Harry series. These tough, individualist roles made Eastwood a cultural icon of masculinity, and over the decades he added film director, producer, musician, and even mayor to his resume. He earned 4 Academy Awards, including Best Director and Best Picture, for Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby. Even now, at age 94, Eastwood commands attention. This year alone, the 94-year-old Oscar winner marked his first decade as a 90-something by directing a new drama, Juror Number 2, and celebrating family milestones. In June 2024, he proudly walked his youngest daughter, Morgan, down the aisle in Carmel, California. Yet in recent weeks, a sensational claim has circulated online that Clint Eastwood reveals who he doesn't want at his funeral. In this video, we'll separate fact from fiction. We'll revisit the life of this Hollywood titan, explain the context behind the rumor, and let the man himself and his family speak to the truth behind the headlines. Clint Eastwood's story is the stuff of legend. Born in 1930 in San Francisco, he got his start in the 1950s as a TV cowboy on Rawhide. A few bit parts later, Eastwood's career exploded when Italian director Sergio Leone cast him as the silent gunfighter in A Fistful of Dollars, 1964. The film's success in the U.S., paired with sequels like For a Few Dollars More and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, cemented Eastwood's status as an international star. By then, he had already begun to form the rugged on-screen persona that audiences still remember, the strong, silent type who deals justice on his own terms. He brought that persona back to Hollywood with equal force. As Los Angeles cop Harry Callahan, he took down bank robbers and uttered the line, "Go ahead, make my day," which became instantly legendary. In the 1970s and 80s, Eastwood was a fixture in gritty action dramas. Then he expanded his range into directing. His directorial debut, Play Misty for Me, 1971, was followed by a string of acclaimed pictures. In fact, Eastwood won Best Director and Best Picture Oscars for Unforgiven, 1992, and $1 Million Baby, 2004. Today, he holds 4 Academy Awards in total and has been celebrated with numerous Golden Globes, César Awards, and even France's Legion of Honor. Few entertainers can match that resume. Yet for all his screen toughness, Eastwood's personal life has been remarkably busy behind the scenes. He has 8 children by multiple partners, and he was twice married. In fact, just last year, his youngest child, Morgan, got married in Carmel, and all 8 of his children attended alongside their 94-year-old father. Clint has said little about funerals. He's more often focused on life. As a local figure, he even served a term as mayor of Carmel by the Sea in the 1980s. In short, Eastwood has always lived by his own code and left the planning of the future largely to chance. That makes recent internet chatter all the more curious. A viral headline claimed that at age 94, Clint Eastwood reveals who he doesn't want at his funeral. Videos on social media teased that the Hollywood icon had explicitly named certain people who should be banned from attending when he's gone. It sounds shocking. The same man who delivered Make My Day on the big screen supposedly choosing who's worthy of his final farewell. But let's pause and recall how rumors spread. The original source of this funeral, Story appears to be a snippet from an alleged interview that was published in an Austrian newspaper. According to those online reports, Eastwood was quoted as saying he would want only family and close friends at his funeral, and that some folks, unnamed, should be kept away. Speculation ranged from former flames to tabloid journalists. Crucially, none of this comes from a verified news interview. In fact, Clint Eastwood himself publicly denied ever giving such an interview. As The Guardian and other outlets later confirmed, Eastwood issued a statement to set the record straight. He said flatly, "I can confirm I've turned 95. I can also confirm that I never gave an interview to an Austrian publication called Courier, and that the interview is entirely phony. So if the funeral story was bogus, what does the real Clint Eastwood care about? For one, his family and his work." After the hoax interview went viral, Eastwood kept his focus on more important things. This summer, he hit 95 years of age and said he still feels strong. When asked about getting older, Eastwood joked that there's no reason why a man can't get better with age, noting that, "I have much more experience today. Sure, some directors lose their touch, but I'm not one of them." Eastwood's close ones describe him in resounding terms. His son Scott recently said that despite personal loss, the passing of Eastwood's partner Christina Sandera in 2024, his father has been a survivor, a trooper. Indeed, Eastwood rarely complains publicly. The People article covering his 95th birthday notes that Eastwood credits his Depression-era upbringing and wartime youth with teaching him to persevere. On set, actors still marvel at his presence. Nicholas Hoult, who starred in Juror Number 2, called Eastwood cinema in many ways. It's just magic to be on set with him, and said he felt very lucky to learn from the legend, if anything. Then, the real story is that Clint Eastwood is determined to live life on his own terms right up until the end, and even beyond. He's chosen to stay busy rather than dwell on mortality. In a recent press interview, not about funerals, Eastwood explained that he never dwells on the legacy of his films. He just makes them and lets audiences decide their meaning. That would be up to them. I go back and look at films I've made, and I could easily ask, why the heck did I make this? I don't remember, he quipped. It's a reminder. Eastwood has long had the mindset of a storyteller, not a worrier. So when it comes to funerals, here's the bottom line. The myth of Clint Eastwood barring people from his own funeral is just that, a myth. The man has never publicly drawn a guest list, and in fact he's shown the opposite behavior. He made a point of joining his daughters and sons at family events, valuing those moments. The People magazine coverage of Morgan's wedding shows Eastwood surrounded by family and celebrating life. In the end, Clint Eastwood's real legacy is far bigger than any internet rumor. It's built on decades of classic films, groundbreaking direction, and an unmistakable screen presence. At nearly 95, he is still very much among us, telling new stories and defying expectations. He may very well walk off into the sunset on screen someday, but for now he's still riding full speed ahead. And when his final curtain does fall, it will happen on his own terms, not on the basis of some viral headline. As Eastwood himself implies, each person writes their own ending. And for this Hollywood legend, the story is still unfolding.